Episode 438 of Job Search Radio. I'm your host, Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter. I'm the head coach for JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, and welcome. New format, video, going to be different, and I hope you enjoy the change. And today's show is from a question that someone asked me, and the question basically translates into, what are the biggest or most common mistakes recruiters make? I think it's a great question. I'm going to surprise you with my answer. Hope you find the show helpful. Give it 5 stars in iTunes or Stitcher. It does help other people discover the show. And at the end of the show, I'll tell you how to get in touch with me for coaching. I'd love to be able to help you that way. And normally I would say, and now let's get going, but don't have to do that because we're just doing this straight on as a one-cut video. Now, the question again is, what are the biggest, most common mistakes recruiters make? And I think most people would think in terms of being deceitful, not knowing what they're talking about. A whole bunch of obvious things that I think job hunters would talk about and some institutional customers would talk about. But I think there's one that cuts a little bit deeper than that. And the one that I'll tell you that I think most of them have committed is that they trust too much. And I'm sure you're going, what? What? Recruiters trusting? Yeah, they trust what their clients tell them, and they trust what you tell them. And you know you're posturing for advantage, and so are their clients. And many of the things that you complain about recruiters telling you about that aren't truthful come from the client. And they're relaying to you what they're told. And conversely, for institutions, one of the complaints that they have about recruiters is they represent candidates who aren't particularly competent. Well, yes, they are not able to evaluate effectively. That part is true. But what they're doing is believing you. They're believing what you're telling them, and they're relaying it to the client. So to me, I think the biggest mistake that they make is they're trusting. They trust the client is telling them the whole truth and nothing but the truth. And they're trusting the same of job hunters as well. Now, I know they commit all sorts of bad behavior. They're liars and yada, yada, yada. But the question is, what's the biggest and most common mistake? And I think it is that they trust people. So that's today's show. I hope you find it helpful. And if you do, give it 5 stars in iTunes or Stitcher or wherever you listen to the show, because it does help other people discover. And if we are connected on LinkedIn, send a connection request to me at linkedin.com/IN/the Big Game Hunter. Also want to mention to you that if you're interested in my coaching you, visit my website, which is thebiggamehunter.us. There are tabs on the top that will tell you about particular services I offer. Click the one that you're curious about, schedule time, or I should say place an order. We'll schedule time. I'd look forward to helping you. Also want to mention that if you join JobSearchCoachingHQ.com, you'll find that I have an enormous amount of information there. It's the best of my stuff that you can watch, listen to, or read. It's going to help you find work more quickly. So again, that site is JobSearchCoachingHQ.com. Hope you enjoyed today's show and hope you have a great day. Take care.